Welcome to Living Abundantly with Sarah V. I am so grateful to be here with you today. At Living Abundantly, we believe true manifestation begins within. That's why each inspiring guest shares their powerful story and remarkable vision. If they can do it, I always say, so can you. I am your host and friend, Sarah V., an international 3-time best-selling author and lifestyle design expert. And I am on a personal mission to inspire abundance through all of life's ups and, most importantly, even the downs. So let's start the show with some true inspiration. Gabby Reece is a volleyball legend, a New York Times best-selling author, an entrepreneur, and a fitness expert. She has built a career beyond the sports world, from co-founding Layered Superfood and XPT to hosting her own podcast. Gabby is at the forefront of health, wellness, and fitness. Known for her personal insights, she's here today to talk about how we can all navigate health and fitness in today's fast-paced world, and how she juggles her busy life as a wife, a mom, and an entrepreneur. Wow, that's a mouthful. Oh my God. Gabby, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, you are welcome. So your podcast has become a go-to for health and wellness insights. I have to say, I know I am a subscriber. Can you tell us a little bit about what listeners can expect from the Gabby Reece show?
Well, I think, you said I came through sports and I've been in the space of health and wellness for such a really long time that my hope with the show is to have conversations with people that are really good in their area or expertise, but also figure out a way to make that relatable. Because what happens is what I've seen is that if you keep adding more things for people to do in order to quote be healthy, it makes it harder. So it's really about sort of saying, hey, here's some best information, but also try to encourage people not only to discover what works for them, but to go, hey, what are the things I'm doing actually that I could eliminate that are maybe keeping me from being healthy? So try to create some support for people in a realistic way, but still with, kind of based in best information.
I absolutely love that, because it is a little overwhelming to continuously add one more thing. I love that. So with your active lifestyle, my goodness, what type of training do you do these days to stay in the top of your game? Has it really shifted as you age abundantly?
I've taken out volleyball obviously out of my kind of repertoire, but my training is still pretty rigorous. And what I want to say about that is I always think it's important for people to be where they're at. So I wouldn't say, okay, train
Mm-hmm.
like me. I came from a background that was pretty, intense with training. So I've
Right.
maintained that,
Yes.
and I do things on land. So there's intent, sort of explosiveness and a little bit of kind of time under tension, but also for the
Mm-hmm.
last about 18 years, my husband and I have been doing some underwater, deep water pool training where you can be explosive and dynamic and even work on your hypoxic training, which is to do more with less air, but not crush your joints. Because that's the whole idea is what are the things I can do forever, and not hurt myself. And so I always encourage people, it's kind of like, where are you at? Could you go just a little further or a little harder? Not, hey, you should go where your neighbor goes and they were a professional cyclist or something.
Right, right. So it's kind of a personal journey,
Yes.
obviously, of
But it
what, yeah.
but it all
I love
takes
that.
work.
Yep.
I think a lot of us think we can hack
Mm-hmm.
our way or think our way through, or because we have the information that gets us there. And what I always say to people is actually, if you could build a practice, whatever that looks
Right.
like, the practice is going to be more important, and consistency is more important than, oh, I kill
Mm-hmm.
myself once a week. That's not the way.
So as we kind of wrap here, I always end, and I'd love to hear your word, but I always ask the last question is, what would you say, with you being, so athletic and, being all things to so many people, what is one abundant word or phrase to describe, your personal life right now?
I think for me, I've always been really good at appreciating the opportunities in front of me. And so when people talk about
Yes.
gratitude, I think sometimes they make it very woo-woo. Like, "Oh, I feel so grateful,"
Yes.
and it's gotta I
Yeah.
think you
Yeah. It
you
kind of
can be
annoys.
it well, you can be in motion, and
Yeah.
you can notice and you can appreciate, because then also when things do get hard, like you said at the top of the show, you understand,
Yeah.
hey, this is all a part of it, as
Mm-hmm.
the down is part of the up. And maybe the thing for
Exactly.
me is I've always been really internally, uh, really grateful for my health, or the
Mm-hmm.
relationships I have,
Mm-hmm.
or the opportunities. And
Yes.
the other
Yeah.
practice is I'm going to be a good steward of those, and I'm going to work hard and
Mm.
take care of those.
I love that. Yes. So I just want to say thank you so much for, spending this time with us all today and, listening to your passions and your purpose in your life. Thank you so much for showing up here with us today.
Aloha. Thank you.
And we will be right back, so stay where you are. I can barely contain myself for our next guest. She is a trailblazer, a music icon, and a survivor. Lisa, also known as Lisa Velez, is celebrating 40 years since her breakout hit, I Wonder If I Take You Home. Now her powerful story is in front and center in a new Lifetime film, Can You Feel the Beat? The Lisa story. From battling breast cancer while on tour to standing up against industry sexism, Lisa is living proof that resilience and friendship can rewrite history. With a very deep breath, welcome
Thank
to
you.
the show. Oh my gosh,
It's an honor to be here.
I'm like a fan.
What energy, what energy.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Oh
Thank you
my,
so much.
you are so welcome. So you've kicked off, let me just drum roll it. 40 years since your iconic hit. What does that milestone actually mean to you today?
I'm still here.
You're still
Whew.
here. Yes.
I was able to love what I do, enjoy it, and continue to, with the grace of God, to, live it still. I want to be the Puerto Rican Lena Horne on the stage.
The Puerto Rican Lena Horne.
Yes, I want to
Oh
keep
yeah.
going.
Oh, wow. But your story in the new, Lifetime film touches on some deeply personal challenges. So what was it like reliving that while also playing, your own mother? My gosh,
I know.
that's powerful.
Ooh, surreal,
Yeah.
therapeutic,
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
Yes.
To see my life through her eyes, it was everything. I remember the first scene was I had a major breakdown walking
Really?
into that scene,
Wow.
into that set, and the pictures and the feel. It took me right back.
Yeah. Because it's one thing, reliving traumas,
Yeah.
just from maybe reading a book or going to a therapist or whatever. But when you're actually seeing your life in front of you, holy cow, it's a totally different
It
experience.
definitely is. I mean, because to relive it, it was like the smells and the tastes and the feel, the sound, everything just came right back, came flushing right back.
Was it healing and therapeutic to you to actually see it, you
It
know?
absolutely was, because
Yeah.
I never ever spoke on my life.
Yeah.
All I ever wanted to do and still want to do is sing. I just want to sing.
You
I
just
love
wanna
to
sing.
entertain.
Well, we want you
Yeah.
to. So you quietly underwent breast cancer treatment, I
Yes.
believe, while touring.
Yes.
How did you, stay strong through that, both emotionally, physically, and spiritually?
My mother,
Hmm.
86% of every feeling and emotion was through my mother, because she went through so much.
Mm.
And for her to be able to continue to smile for her kids, she wanted to make sure that her babies, her 10 kids, were able to live their
What?
dreams.
Where are
So
you in the lineup?
I'm the youngest. Yeah.
Wow.
So just remembering the fact that, with everything that she went through, she always held her head up and took care of her kids.
What advice do you have for young women, navigating music and fame today?
Get a lawyer. I'm keeping it real.
Yes.
I didn't know anything that I was
Yeah.
signing. I knew none of that.
Mhm.
I just wanted to sing.
Because sometimes it's difficult to,
Yeah.
find our purpose and passion when we have been, identifying with false stories that we can't do it. We're not good enough. Someone's better than us, So
Don't
yeah, it's
listen
like
to too much of that.
Yes.
If you feel in your heart of hearts that this is where you belong,
Yeah.
you still keep kicking them doors down.
Yes.
I still will.
Yes.
I'm still struggling to stay in
I'm
it.
just about to kick some really big time doors down. So yeah, because one of the things that I always say to myself through my healing
Yes.
is, if it's limited, it's a lie.
Yeah. I'm a true believer, and if you want something, you can make it happen.
We can do anything,
Yes,
because it's those
absolutely.
limited lies that are
Yes.
telling, and because what's behind the limited lie is the fear.
Yes.
And, I don't know if you're what, but I'm doing this series of really stepping into things that make me feel uncomfortable
I love that.
and doing it anyway. I could talk to you all day. I feel
you.
this beautiful, energetic connection with you. And I'm so happy that you are here. But before we wrap, what would you say? I always end my, the segment here. What would you say? And I'm kind of on the edge of my seat, literally, to hear, what would you say is your most abundant word or phrase that describes your life on the other side of, all this fame and fortune and living your best life?
Beautiful.
I was just going to say that. Beautiful.
It's been beautiful for me. Whatever it is that I went through, I don't regret anything, because it made me who I am today.
Yes.
So I feel I've lived
Beautiful.
a beautiful, but I have so much more to do.
I know. I know. We're like on the edge of our seats, like, we got to do more.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love the word beautiful, because even the things that we don't want, your breast cancer and all the things, the sexism, racism, can be beautiful on the other side, because it helps us to become the incredible women that we are on this planet. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Oh my God, I don't want you to go. Yeah, but
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your inspiring story. And we'll be watching for the Lifetime movie. So thank you
so much.
Yes.
God bless.
Thank you so much. And we will be right back, so don't go away.
La matatana.
My name is Lisa. Been around for 40 years now. It's the 40-year anniversary of I Wonder If I Take You Home. Living abundantly with Sarah V. She is a beautiful soul. She's powerful. And I felt so comfortable. And I thank her so much for that feeling of strength. The environment here is everything. Y'all are so dope. I love it. And this set is beautiful. Thank you. Have a lawyer and get checked. Early detection for breast cancer is always important, men and women. So do that.
Spring and summer are the seasons of the year when Mother Nature is showing us it's time for everything to blossom and grow. And yet many of us are not paying attention to blossoming our love relationships or growing our romance and intimacy into abundant loving. My regular, and I'm going to call her the love doctor, Dr. Deb, author of the new book, The Return to Love Playbook, and is a couples and family therapist, intimacy coach, and host of Love Notes with Dr. Deb on WCHE Radio. She has over 35 years of experience helping couples learn to, I love this, love well, stay in love, and return to love if they have lost it. She is here today, very special day, to give us her top romance tips we can use every season of the year to help put that bloom into any relationship. I love this. I always look forward to having you here.
Thank
welcome
you.
welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me again. I'm so excited to be back.
Oh, I love having you here, and I love the tips that are so user friendly. So I love that you're back with us. So let's just jump right in, if you're will.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So I hate to start off with this, but it is a fact that the divorce rate still is so high. I think it's something like 56%.
56, yes.
Yeah. And it seems we are, as a society, are kind of failing at love. So why do you think, in your opinion, are so many relationships dying?
Yeah, well, first of all, we're not kind of failing. I just heard that marriage is more dangerous than skydiving.
What?
The catastrophe rate is like
What?
0.0004.
Wow.
And I also heard it's a lawyer from New York, James Sexton, I can say his name actually.
Yeah.
He actually also said that you have better chance of winning the lottery than you do of a successful marriage.
Aw.
And he's not wrong. So
Yeah.
for a couple reasons. First of all, most of us do not have great skills to begin with.
Yeah.
And then I think people are letting go of the sparkle, the good parts, the romance, the passion, the sexuality.
Yeah.
So many people say, we don't need that anymore. We're too tired. We have kids. We're too busy. It's boring. And no effort.
Yes. What are some of your most practical romance, here's that word again, rescue tips that couples can actually start to use
Absolutely.
in,
Yeah, I'm going to run down
next
real
minute.
quick. In the next minute,
Yeah.
first of all, commit to 100% effort by both.
Yep.
Then you have to heat up your touching, kissing, hugging.
Right.
6-second kisses, 20-second
Right.
hugs.
And I started doing the whole 20-second hug. Is it 20 seconds?
20 seconds.
20-second hug. Oh, yeah, I've
Yes.
done that.
Okay,
Yep.
keep doing that.
Yep.
And then for spring and summer, bring on the heat.
Bring on the heat. Oh,
So
boy.
first, get every cover you have in your house.
Yes.
Put them on your bed.
Yes.
If you have 3, 4, 5 down comforters, put them all on the bed.
Right.
Seal yourselves under there and see what happens. It's very
I
sensual.
could just do it with a sheet, you know?
I got you. We're of a certain age where we
yes.
don't need the covers, but
Yeah.
do it anyway. Even turn up the thermostat, even though it's summer.
I have never
It's-
heard that.
It's fantastic.
Wow. So it's just
So,
it's the sweating,
it's slipping, sliding. It's like an adult version of slip and slide.
slip and
So-
slide. Oh my gosh. Wow.
But it's very sensual, so it's a good
Wow.
one.
Well, that's good to hear.
And the second way to bring on some heat
Yeah.
is to turn on your shower,
yeah.
leave it on for a while, turn up the thermostat, steam up your bathroom,
Wow.
and make a personal
Like
steam room.
sauna.
And then you can have all kinds of toys that you bring
Yes.
in the shower. And I have
No,
a
you
few
don't
here.
bring the cowbell.
No,
in.
well,
No.
you could if you want to have fun.
So
But you can if you want to.
yeah.
But just
okay.
a few things. There's a company called Lemon and Lavender, and they have these really cute bath things. This one's called In the Buff,
in the buff.
so that you
right?
guys can use together. And
Okay.
they're little like body massagers.
I
This
love
one
that.
is called Sore Winner.
Yeah.
And
So
the-
do you experience these things with your partner, correct?
you can do
or-
it with your partner,
or you-
or if you are a party of one,
Yes.
have your party of one celebration. I really
Okay.
believe people who are single should still be having their vibrant, passionate, sensual experiences.
Right. Okay.
These are steamers. They're called Let's Get Steamy.
Ooh.
And these I thought were hysterical. I found them in the local drugstore. They're from Crayola. They are bathtub finger paint. They're actually a kid's toy.
Now, do we do the finger paint? Okay, well, we won't get too personal.
And this is a body wash pen.
Oh,
So you never know where
wow.
you're going to find these great toys.
Wow.
So, and then, let's see, so we got the heat, we got
Yeah,
the
we got the heat,
steam.
we got the cowbell.
The last one I give you is, do you remember how to play? Do you remember how you played as a child?
Yes.
So think about some of the games we played as children. How about Simon Says?
Oh.
What if we played, remember Simon
Yes.
Says? Simon Says, do this.
Yes.
Simon Says, stop.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or Honey, May I?
Honey, may I?
Okay.
Yep.
Or the other thing is kids play with costumes a lot. So
Oh, so
we have
dress
to
up.
think about dress up, whatever you can go full-blown rabbit costume. Or Sarah, if you want to start small,
Yeah.
I actually brought you
Okay.
a little something to
Uh-oh.
start with.
I'm getting a little nervous here.
We've got some
Oh.
rabbit ears for
And
you,
it- look
and
how
they're sparkly
beautifully
too.
It goes with my pink.
Yes.
Now, do I
And-
put these on with clothes on?
Well,
I'm assuming,
not
or
necessarily.
not necessarily.
And or you
Oh,
and it's got
wow.
cuffs, but they're just furry cuffs.
Okay.
They're very innocent cuffs, and there's the tail too. So
What do you? Oh, I see. I'm like, what are?
Well, you have
Oh,
to
I
take
see
that
these go.
apart.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
okay.
Well, you know, this
So-
could be the next outfit that I wear. I love that. I think I'll take
thought
off
the
my ears.
sparkles.
But this is
suited you
perfect. But
very
look how
well.
perfectly. So
Yes. So just
these
have
are
fun.
great. Just have fun.
And-
Yeah, we just take ourselves so
Yeah.
seriously. I'm all about fun.
Yes.
I'm all about laughter, humor.
I am as well.
So-
and you know why it's called foreplay?
Oh,
Because
because
it
you
is
do
foreplay.
there you go.
You
So
should be having fun.
as you know, because you are my luminary, my guest that has come in many times, you know that what the next question
Yes.
is going to be. And I
Mhm.
love the fact that you always have something a little bit different. But what
Okay.
is an abundant, and I'm going to add a word, romantic word that best describes your work?
I'm going to say the goal is synchrony sex.
Synchrony
Yes,
sex.
which
Okay.
means you are so tuned in that you are
Ah.
synchronous. You're listening for each other's breath.
Right.
You're feeling each other's heartbeat. You're really in tune
Wow.
with body sensations. You're
Yeah.
doing eye contact and you're really listening. And that's the experience of the
I love-
sacred sex that I talk about.
And then you can wear your rabbit ears and
just
your
to
tail.
lighten it up a little bit.
Well, as always, I just love these tips,
Oh,
and I have
thank
actually
you.
used them. Maybe not the
Yeah.
bunny ears or the cowbell yet, but you never know. Yeah. So thank you so much again for coming
You're
on the show
welcome.
and sharing. It's a very important subject. You know?
It is
Yeah.
because it's also the basis of mental health and physical health,
Right.
which is another
Yeah.
story for another
Love it.
day.
Absolutely. Well, thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, and we will be right back. So stay tuned.
I think it was wonderful because we opened up the topics of romance rescue and what are the creative ways that you can refresh and rejuvenate your romance, your passion, your sexuality, and keep that going. And, trying to get people out of that mode of, oh, we don't need it anymore, or it's too tiring, or we're bored with it. It's so important to keep that connection going. I would say that a big part of living abundantly is keeping your passion, your sexuality alive, because it is part of our humanness, our emotional home, and it actually has a lot to do with mental health and physical health. The more we feel connected to someone, loved, safe, and secure, loving, and a real bond, that's what this is about, not just the physical pleasure and fun. It's about really being bonded to your partner, and that creates mental health and physical health.
Our next guest is supermodel turned best-selling author, beloved TV host, and culinary icon. Meet Cristina Ferrare. With over 40 years in the spotlight, she's graced magazine covers, led hit morning shows, and inspired millions with her cookbooks, including the #1 Amazon bestseller, Food for Thought. Cristina is also a powerful advocate for women's health, brain and gut wellness, and a cancer survivor, helping others find strength through her journey. Oh gosh, Cristina, thank you so much and welcome to the show.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here. I'm exhausted after listening to all the things that I've done. Oh my God.
I know. It's so funny to hear it being read to you.
It is.
Yes.
I don't think about it at all. And then when I, hear something like that, I go, wow, I've been alive.
Wow, I've actually, that's me. I always do that. Like that's what I've done. Anyway, so you've had the title of Supermodel of the World. My gosh, what an abundant phrase. What was it like for you, in those days? I still see you as a supermodel today, but in those days, what was it like for you being in that quote unquote spotlight?
Well, it's not as glamorous as it would seem. It was a lot of hard work. And I would remember walking down like Madison Avenue or Fifth Avenue, or whatever places we were going to go to our shoots, and walking past those large magazine stands, and I would see my face on the cover of a magazine.
Wow.
And it never dawned on me that, I didn't appreciate it at the time of what it meant and where I was. It was like, I had kids at home and I had to get home and, make dinner, and which I've been doing forever.
Right.
Because I have 7 children and 8 grandchildren.
What?
So I'm still doing it.
Oh, yes.
But it wasn't as glamorous as you thought it would be.
So as I mentioned in the intro, you have a best-selling cookbook. When did you kind of, discover the passion for cooking?
Well, first let me say that cooking is my passion.
Yes.
I believe it's very important in life. Once you find what your passion is, that really helps a lot, because it puts you in the direction that you are meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
So as I can remember being as young as 4 years old and being in the kitchen with my nonna and my mom, making dinner all the time. And the reason why I loved it so much, my grandmother would always bring the food to the table, and she did it with such love and such pride. And the noises coming from the kitchen always intrigued me. There was the food cooking, there was music playing, there was laughter, and that's the room I wanted to be in. And my mother allowed me to be in the kitchen and to help her cook, and I've been doing it ever since. Because for me, now as an adult and having my 6th cookbook come out,
wow,
it's like, it's for me too. It's what I do the best, and it's how I show my love and appreciation to my family and to my friends.
Oh, because food definitely speaks a language of love, for sure. I love that. So when you are feeling in your passion, I believe life starts to flow. So was it a challenging transition for you to feel exactly where you needed to be, right now? Was it challenging, or did you feel in flow with it all?
Well, there's always things that are challenging, but challenge is good, because it helps move you on to the next thing that you're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
And I was sidetracked a lot during my younger years, where, I was a model, and then I was a spokesperson, then I hosted television shows. And what my philosophy in life is to always say yes, because I believe, you say yes, even though you don't want to go through that door, there are opportunities that are there, and it helps you grow, and it takes you into whatever chapter that your life is in at that time. And then when that's over, you go into your next chapter. Yes.
Well, one day we'll have to have you live in the studio, because I feel the same way. I love connecting,
Great.
with people.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, great. So I cannot wait to get my hands on your book. I'm an author too, so I'll send you a copy of my book, because it does have recipes in it as well. But I always end the show. I hate this, because then you have to leave. But I would love to know, what would you say is an abundant word that describes your journey, and life right now? You can even use a phrase. I've had to change it a lot. Give you a word or a phrase.
I'm living the life that I'm meant to live. I'm a very spiritual person. I trust God, and I let Him lead the way. And I'm at a point in my life where I am completely happy with who I am as a human being. I've been married
Yay.
40 years to the same wonderful man.
Wow.
My
Fantastic.
children all grown and healthy. I have, like I said, 8 grandchildren with the 9th one on the way.
Wow.
So I'm at a place where I can say peace.
Yes.
I haven't accomplished everything because there are still more things that I want to do.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming
Well,
on
thank you.
and sharing your beauty inside and out with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you. Well, that's it for us today on Living Abundantly. For even more content and inspiration, follow us on my YouTube channel, Living Abundantly with Sarah V. And I will see you next time. And as I always say, here is to living abundantly.
The proceeding was sponsored by Sarah V. LLC.